You'll get back to your work and keep your trap shut. You! If I'm any good at figures, that makes one. Right where old Red Buzzy fell when he tried to hold up the bank.
Hi, I'm Rob Word. Welcome to Word's Wayback, where tonight we're going to watch Gunsmoke. Marshal Matt Dillon up against some... No, wait a minute. Matt Dillon's not in this. James Arness is not in this because you know why? We're going further back, way further back, to 1931. Richard Arlen is the cowboy hero up against William Boyd in this film. William Boyd? Hopalong Cassidy is the villain, the murderous villain in this movie? You know, there are two William Boyds, and that caused a big problem for the William Boyd that we know as Hoppy, Hopalong Cassidy, which is to come along in a couple of years. The William Boyd that you're going to see in tonight's film, he was busted. There was a police raid. They found gambling equipment, illegal alcohol, and porno movies. Hearst newspapers plastered this all over the front page, and it was a big scandal. And you know what they did? Something wrong. They posted the photograph on the front page of the other William Boyd, our Hoppy, before he was Hoppy. He was under contract to RKO, a star. Because of a morals clause, they canceled his contract, and bingo, he's out of work. He's working for the subpar Poverty Row Studios, while the William Boyd who's in tonight's film, his career was even worse off. He had begun his career in silent movies, and his leading ladies had been Claudette, Colbert, and Barbara Stanwyck. He was even in The Spoilers with Gary Cooper, the early version of The Spoilers. Well, it was really over for him. This film, Gunsmoke, was done before that, though. He is the bad guy, and what's ironic is in 1935, when William Stage Boyd died, that's the year that our William Boyd, Hoppy, got the part of Hopalong Cassidy. Harry Pop Sherman found our William Boyd. He was sleeping off a bad drunk at the beach at his wife's house. But luckily for all of us, he did change his ways and became the white-haired, white horse-riding hero that we all know as Hopalong Cassidy. But the hero in today's film, Richard Arlen, he had been in the first Oscar-winning movie directed by William Wellman. That was Wings, of course. He starred in over 200 other movies as well. And his sidekick in this, you won't believe it. Did you ever see Errol Flynn's Robin Hood? The Friar Tuck in that movie? Eugene Paulette? He's the sidekick for Richard Arlen in this. And young Anne Shirley, under the name of Dawn O'Day, is the little grocer's daughter. Now, she played Anne in Anne of Green Gables in the mid-30s. She was also the daughter of Barbara Stanwyck in Stella Dallas. Both of those ladies got Oscar nominations. And she was in the great Dick Powell film noir, Murder, She Wrote. Well, she's younger in this. She's the grocer's daughter. I think you'll enjoy her, and I think you'll enjoy not seeing Matt Dillon in this film, because it is a rousing film shot by the spectacular cinematographer Archie Stout, who had shot most of those John Wayne B. Westerns at Lone Star, and also a lot of the great Hopalong Cassidy movies. Later on, of course, he did Angel and the Bad Man, The Quiet Man, and a couple of other John Wayne movies too. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I know I've spoken a little bit too long, but it's a lot of information for you to enjoy this classic film. Let's get to it right now.
Keeler's death leaves Kedge Darvis the undisputed gang leader of the city, an absolute king of the local underworld, with all its amazingly profitable traffic in organized crime.
How does it feel to be a king, Ked? At that, I guess, is a king or two these days that are getting less for their jobs than I take.
What's the idea of blowing town right now? Keeler's off the map and you've got everything your own way.
Well, there'll be a lot of heat about this last killing. And we might just as well stay undercover until it chills.
Where are we heading for, Kedge?
Did you ever hear of a place called Bunsen, Idaho?
No.
Well, that makes it even. Because Bunsen never heard of you, or me, or any of the rest of our mob. Listen to this. Bunsen, Idaho invites you to take a vacation and look us over. Combine business with pleasure. Oil, timber, water power, gold mining, cattle land. Concessions to capital.
Well, what about it?
We're capitalists.
No kidding.
Listen, we live on a ranch near the town. They call it the Vancy Ranch. After a couple of weeks hunting and fishing, we'll drift back to the town and pick it to the bone.
Great country. Columbus discovered it. George Washington founded it. 120 million suckers worked for it. And when they got it all done,
We took it.
how many of them is there? Well, we're in 5 minutes. I bet they'll be surprised when they see how bumps and dusting.
The men who better be moving.
Well, that's all right. We've got plenty of time.
Good morning, Miss Fancy. How do you do, Mr. Horton?
How do you do, John? Everything all ready, Sheriff?
All set, Mr. Horton. Band's down at the station. Cars ready to take them out to Miss Fancy's ranch. I hope you all set out the ranch, Miss Fancy.
Oh, yes. Tack Gallop and Hancy Bell were preparing the barbecue when I left. I'm sure we can make them feel at home.
There's the train. We'd better hurry.
Do I speak my piece first, Papa, or do I give him the flower?
Oh, well.
Papa, what is it I say?
On behalf of the city of Bunsen, I present you with these flowers.
Uh-huh.
Are you Mr. Darvis?
Huh? Yes.
Horton is my name, Mr. Darvis. As mayor of the city of Bunsen, I welcome you.
On behalf of... Here's some flowers for you.
Well, Mr. Darvis, I guess you'll have to talk to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in hopes of having the opportunity of investing some money, one way or another, and if...
time, if any. I've told you before, Brad Polly, this town has grown up to a point where a lot of yelling and shooting in the streets is a nuisance. And now you do it when a lot of big people's out here from the east.
Oh, I didn't know they grew 'em big back there. Who's that with Sue Vance?
That's Mr. Darvis. He's the head man of all of them big people from the east, out here in answer to the advertisement we put in some of the papers back there. We're all going to stay out to Miss Vance's ranch while they're here.
Yeah? What's the idea?
Ain't any place in town to put 'em up. Mayor Horton thought they'd kind of like it out there. Chance to fish and hunt and all like that. Now, you and your men behave yourselves, Brad, because these fellows will have to invest money out here if they like it.
Well, now, ain't that sweet of them?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll put up a lot of factories and use all the water in our creeks for power, and our trees for paper pulp, and our kids to run the machines for them. Maybe if we pay them enough, they'll put up a lot of tall buildings so we can't see the sun from the smoke through the chimneys. And all the cowboys left in this country will get jobs driving trucks. And we'll all be just as tame and dirty and crowded as a lot of them places back east. That'll be fine.
Ah, you never did have any public spirit.
That's because I want to keep this country like it's always been. Big, clean, and roomy. So that the people that like it can have it to live in. And them that don't like it that way can get out.
Mind what I tell you now. No more of this yipping and shooting in the streets. That goes for you too, Stub Wallach.
Go bury your head in a gopher hole. You old sheep herder. There you are. Now, that's just fine now, ain't it? Here you've been a-fussing with Sue Vancy for the last couple of years off and on. Now look, Mr. Darvis is going to stay out at the ranch. Not a bad-looking feller, is he? No, sir, not a bit bad. Why don't you get acquainted with him and treat him right, and maybe he'll invite you to be the best man at the wedding.
Whose wedding?
Well, how do I know? He might marry Sue Vancy. Somebody will, someday.
Well, it ain't gonna be him. You and the rest of the fellows round up them horses and take them down to Horton's corral. I'm going over and collect. Come on, boy.
I hope it'll be able to make you comfortable.
Hello, Sue.
How do you do?
Say, I jumped a black stallion down on Red Rock Flats that'll make a great saddle animal for you.
I have plenty of saddle horses, thank you. We're still rather primitive out here, Mr. Darvis. But we're doing our best to keep up with the times.
I don't see anything primitive about Bunsen.
Mr. Darvis, I want you to meet Mr. Farley, Mr. Brad Farley.
Well, how do you do?
How are you? Brought down 70 head for you this time, Mr. Horton.
Oh, $20 a head be okay?
Suits me.
$1,400 for the lot.
1,300 will be enough. 4 or 5 of them got pretty bad lamed up coming down yesterday. I wouldn't want to charge you the full price for them.
All right. Eddie,
Yes, sir.
bring Brad Farley out $1,300, will you?
Coming right out with it.
Do you see what I see?
And they leave it open. Don't you think that's a good idea?
Well,
Here you are, Brad. Thanks, Eddie. And he didn't even count it. Mr. Darvis, I'm one of the traditions of the Old West that Miss Vancy's been talking about. How'd you like to see some good riding and roping?
well,
They'll show you all the new things. I'd like to show you some of the old.
I don't think Mr. Darvis is interested
Well, if he ain't interested, he don't have to look. Me and my men will ride along with you as you go out to the ranch and show you some of the things that this country used to stand for. Like the idea, Mr. Horton?
Well, I think it's fine, Brad, only we don't want to put you to any trouble.
Oh, no trouble at all. Come on, boys. We're going to ride out the ranch with Sue. Now, I want you to show them some good riding and roping on the way.
What you want?
Where's the Worcestershire sauce?
Which is your son? No.
What do you mean, no?
No is some.
No is some. Now, what kind of English is that?
My kind?
Oh, you go back to the kitchen where you belong.
All right.
I can smell those mince pies clean down to the calf corral.
Wonder you wouldn't stay down at the calf corral and go right on smelling them. Now, you listen to me, Pat Gillett. I got work to do, and I ain't got time to have you bothering around asking fool questions.
I ain't gonna ask you no questions.
Well, you will if you stay here.
I won't. That is, not more than one. Listen, Hamsey, how's chances of getting old Strike Jackson a little bite to eat? He's just around the corner of the barn.
Is that old crazy prospector here again? Always talking gold, but never finds it.
He's happy enough, though. Leastwise, he always thinks he's just found it. What do you say, Hamsey?
Well, all right.
Hey, Strike!
Hello, Hamsey. Did Pat tell you?
Tell me what?
I found it. Gold. Raw gold. Right from the grassroots down. There's millions of dollars of it. Right over there.
Yes, Strike, I know. Pat, you take him round to the kitchen and tell John to... Dan, take the knives. Here they come.
Well, Miss Vancy, that's kind of a surprise, wasn't it? The way Brad thought about having us tail along.
And what?
Well, I'm kind of make a parade out of it. You know, that's it, a kind of a parade.
I've no objections to your coming in, Stubbs. You do want to see Hamsey, don't you?
Well, yes, and now that you mention it.
I think you'll find her around at the kitchen.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, boys. Let's get going. What about Stubbs? He'll catch up with us. He's got a reason to stay.
What's your hurry, Brad?
I wouldn't call it hurry. Seems to me when a man gets a door slammed in his face and then his hat comes flying out the window, doesn't seem like good sense to hang around until somebody sicks the dog on you.
No, have some sense, will you?
Sounds like sense to me.
Well, it ain't, and I'll show you why. Your idea is, if a girl wanted you to come and sit in the parlor for a spell, she'd hold open the door and ask you to come in. Ain't that it?
Something like that.
Shows what you know. If she really wanted you to come in, she'd shut the door in your face and sick the dog on you. Then she'd sit down and cry unless you bust in the window and come in anyhow.
Say, what are you talking about?
All them calves over there in the corral. Well, most of the boys is out on the range right now. If them calves was to get out, we'd sure need plenty of help getting them rounded up.
Probably would.
Everybody connected with this ranch would be mighty grateful to the folks that rounded them calves up for us. If they was to bust loose.
I suppose so.
Well, See you later.
Well, Hamsey, here I am.
I see you are.
Glad to see me?
In spite of.
In spite of what?
In spite of the time you picked to come a visit him.
Well, I never picked no time, Hamsey. I just happened to...
But a girl like me don't like to be happened. Don't you ever come to see me on purpose?
Well, sure I do, Hamsey.
You do not. You're happening on a Monday morning when I'm a-doing the washing, or you're happening at mealtime when I'm a-setting the table, or you're happening when I got a bad cold and my headache, and it's cold and raining. Did you ever hear of a moon?
Sure.
And a warm summer night when the flowers is a-blooming and a body like me ain't got nothing to do. Did you ever hear of that?
Certainly I did, Hamsey.
Well, some of these times, you put that moon and that summer night together and come to see me on purpose without happening.
I'll do more than that, Hamsey. I'll get me a bottle of perfume down to the drugstore in town.
All them dratted calves out and all the men out in the rain.
Come on, you little devil. Get out. Come on, man. Get out of here. Don't you? Get out of here. Why, they ain't gonna hurt the flowers.
Look out for my begonias.
Miss Fancy, we'll have to get them calves back before nightfall or we'll lose a lot. You know, the boys go out on the range.
Oh, Jack. What do we do?
Well, listen, Miss Fancy. Brad and his boys are here, and maybe they could round them up for us. Why don't you ask them?
I won't.
Is there any objection to my asking him?
Well, you can if you want to. We've got to get them back somehow.
Brad, give us a hand with them calves. They busted out of the corral. Come on, boys. Shame the way them calves got out now, ain't it? They'll get them back all right. On the calf.
Just a big outdoor kindergarten.
I'll bet if you educate those cowboys, they turn out to be great checker players.
I hear you can teach cowboys to count up to 10 if you catch them when they're young and feed them right.
That's a big day's work for a bunch of grown men. Playing tag with a lot of shaky-legged calves.
Well, if you think it's so easy, why aren't you out there doing something about it?
Talking to me?
Direct. You've got a lot to do making fun of them boys when they're working their heads off to get them critters back in the corral.
Hamsey.
Well, he can't go making cracks like that about cowboys. That's hard work they're doing out there. And it takes better men than you are to get it done, too.
Hamsey.
But
Hamsey, please.
Well,
You can't talk like that to these gentlemen. They can do a lot for this country if they take the notion. They are big men.
big windbag. This country's gotten to an awful state. If it has to wait for people like them to do something for it amounts to anything. All right, boy. Come on, boy. Got him now, huh?
Seems a shame, though, after they done all that
we should let him ride off without even giving him a little something to eat?
I suppose so. I'm ever so much obliged to you for bringing the calves back. Will you have a bite before you...
Well, we fixed that all right.
Yeah, but I could sneak up on a bunch of wild horses with a bell in each hand easier than I can get within talking distance to her.
Oh, go on, foolish. He just walked off so she'd have a chance to be alone with you.
You know, there are times when I wonder if you're real bright.
Get off that horse. Go on. Go ahead.
Then again, there are times when I wonder the same thing about myself.
Go on. Go on.
Oh, Sue! What's the sense in our fighting all the time, Sue? We used to get along all right. Can't we take up where we left off?
No.
Oh, Sue. Sue,
I don't care to talk to you, Brad Farley.
you've got to.
I don't.
Oh, Sue, why be mad at me all the time?
I'm not.
Well, then, what's the matter with me?
You know as well as I do. If you just get down to business and make something of yourself.
Well, I've done pretty good the last couple of years rounding up mustangs. Why, the last 6 months I made...
I don't care what you've made. Do you call hunting wild horses a man's job?
Well, maybe not. But I've never seen any cripples make a success out of it.
Oh, I know it's hard work. But that isn't the point. Don't you understand that the time has gone by in this country when a man that amounts to anything, can waste his time doing things that maybe had to be done in the Old West, but...
The Old West was pretty good country, Sue. And some pretty good people came out of it.
Oh, I know. But things are different now, Brad. Now take this Mr. Darby. Isn't any smarter than you are. And I doubt if he's done as much hard work. But he has everything. Money, position, power. And why?
I don't know. Maybe he had a break of good luck.
It isn't luck. He's done his work where it counts. That's it. He's up to date, modern. He puts in his time in the sort of work that real men are doing these days. Not riding around in the mountains like a...
I beg your pardon.
Oh, that's quite all right. Come in.
I just wanted to get off a short note or two before Mr. Horton went back to town.
You'll find writing material in the desk.
Well, that's all right. There's no rush. They won't be starting back for quite a while, I guess. It's a lovely room.
You like it?
Indeed, I do. Restful simplicity.
I tried to keep the old ranch house idea in furnishing it.
Oh, and a piano. Well.
Oh, it's more of an ornament than anything else. So few out here play. Oh, you play?
Very little. You play, Mr. Farley?
Me? No.
That's too bad. I thought I might get you to play and sing some of your queer cowboy songs.
Sound funny to you, do they?
Well, I haven't heard many, but I hear they're very amusing.
Oh, won't you play something, Mr. Darby?
I'm a very indifferent amateur. I've never had the time to give to it.
made me so doggone mad, I like to slap his face right where he sat.
Well, maybe he didn't mean nothing but what he said.
He meant a plenty, making out that cowboy's work was nothing but child's play. I'd like to see him try it.
Which one of them said it?
That was the end of the table.
Just watch me.
He got him right between the eyes just as he stepped out of the saloon in Pine City. Called himself Whiz Daggett. Oh, he was a bad man, but not quite quick enough on the draw.
That's the way they do things out here.
Speaking of Pine City, you remember the time down at the railroad station that fella got off from the train and started making fun of my hat?
No, I wasn't there.
Well, sir, I'll tell you what I done. Now, mind you, of course, I done it in a polite way, but nevertheless, I done it. Now, this feller was smoking a cigar.
What kind of a cigar?
How do I know?
Don't make no difference?
Of course it don't make no difference. Don't talk silly. Now, as I was saying, this feller was smoking a cigar, and he's about as far from me as... You see that fence out yonder? Well, sir, he was just about as far as from here to that fence. So I outs with my gun and... As I was saying, I outs with my gun, and you see that post there with that little twig on the offside there? Well, now, just supposing that there post is the feller I'm telling you about, and that twig is the cigar.
Mighty hard to suppose, but go on, go on.
As I was saying, I outs with my gun, and I shoots the cigar right out of his face, just like that.
Yeah, all right. Pretty good.
Maybe it ain't.
Let's see that gun, will you? Single action 44, eh? It's a long time since I seen one of those babies. Shoot. You forgot to take the band off that cigar.
I used to shoot a little. Let me see that Roscoe, will you?
Where do you get that Roscoe stuff? My name's Stubb.
I ain't done this trick in years, and I'll probably miss it. But I'll try it anyhow. Here, toss that for me, will you?
You play, don't you?
Not well enough to try when anyone can hear me.
I can hardly believe that. You know, Miss Bancy,
What are those boys doing?
just having a little fun, I suppose. As I was saying, with hands like yours, I bet you play beautifully.
I think we'd better go out and see what's going on.
Whether you like it or not, I'm telling you, Mr. Horton, I don't believe these fellas are capitalists at all.
Brad, I'm surprised at you.
You're liable to be a lot more surprised by some other people. I think Darvis and the rest of these fellas are fakers.
Brad,
Now, Mr. Darvis, don't you pay any attention to this young fellow. He's just...
I'm ashamed of you.
Are you?
I am. These gentlemen are my guests. And if you're any kind of a gentleman at all, you'll apologize to Mr. Darvis.
Oh, that isn't necessary. I guess Mr. Farley just lost his head for a minute.
I haven't lost anything yet, and I don't expect to. I don't like big businessmen. Even if he was, I wouldn't like him.
I knew there'd be trouble of some sort if we asked you to stay.
But listen, Sue,
Now, you get your men together and get off this place.
All right, boys. Let's go.
Let's get started now. Let's get started. We'll have to leave.
Awfully sorry this thing had to happen, Mr. Darvis.
That's all right. Nothing to worry about.
Miss Fancy. Miss Fancy. Why, Sue Fancy, you're crying.
That's Lost Lake down there. And over beyond the foothills is the Sewanee Range.
You own all this?
Oh, it amounts to a lot of acreage, but not much in value. Most of it's only good for grazing. There's some timber higher up in the hills.
A beautiful place.
I like it. Of course, I wish there was some way I could put more land under cultivation. But...
Hey! Miss Fancy! Come on down!
Poor old Strike Jackson. I suppose he struck gold again. He always thinks he finds it every day.
I saw him at your ranch that day we got in.
I always humor him, poor old fellow. Shall we go?
Sure.
I got it this time, Miss Fancy. I got it.
Well, isn't that splendid?
You bet I got it. Look here, Miss Fancy. I got that out of just a couple of shovels full. Looky.
Strike. It's gold.
Good, clean, coarse gold, Miss Fancy. Why, this is the richest flat right here that anybody ever laid their eyes on.
Are you kidding him?
No, he's got it.
It's the biggest thing you ever saw. Well, that'll go $2,000 to the yard if it goes a penny. Looky here, Miss Fancy.
Hardly that, Strike, but enough to make it worthwhile. With a few handmade sluices and plenty of men.
Real gold. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
Saddle up your burro, Strike. We'll talk about it on the way home. Come on, hurry up. You're going with us.
Oh, mercy. Capitalists, bankers, big men from the East. I've cleaned up in a lot of places. And if this ain't the doggonest mess of empty bottles and jawed up cigarette butts I ever took out of that many rooms, I hope a choke for saying it.
Maybe Brad's got more sense than the folks give him credit for.
If these men are bankers and capitalists, give me coal miners and ditch diggers.
Tax! Taxi! Come quick! He found it, Tax.
Who found what?
Gold. Strike found it. Coarse gold, Tax.
Pure gold, or I am a liar. Why, it's rotten rich, Tack. There's places there where you can pick it out of the sand with your fingers.
Miss Fancy, ain't that wonderful?
By jingo, lucky you got the mineral rights on this place, Miss Fancy.
But Strike gets past, though. He found it. Now, look, Tax. Hitch up the buckboard quick. I want you to come down to Bunsen with me. And then we'll...
Just a minute. You're not going to town.
Why, what?
I said you weren't going to town. None of you.
Why, what the...
Pipe down and stick up your mitts, Father Time. Brad was right. These fellas are... Correct. I'm what the newspapers call a gang leader, Miss Fancy. Now, you do as I say, and you got nothing to worry about. I'm going to take the gold out of those gravel bars.
You can't do that, you crook. I'm going to see Posey Meade, the sheriff. I'm going to tell him. You understand me? He'll fix you. The idea. I find this gold, and then this fella tells me that I ain't...
Now, this is what you're going to do.
It's Horton and Posey Meade. I to tell you that the arrangement for the dance tonight, Your Honor, is all...
Strike Jackson, why? I'm the sheriff here. What's going on? You were the sheriff around here, Mr. Meade. Now I'm going to tell you a little story.
I'm Kedge Darvis. They call me a gangster.
Oh. Are you the Kedge Darvis?
That's me. Now, I want you to listen very close. I run a town 300 times the size of Bunsen, and nobody in that town dares make a move unless I give the word. You understand that?
Mr. Darvis.
Never mind that Mr. Darvis stuff. We're taking over Bunsen for a reason. Now, you, Mr. Horton, you've got a little girl, haven't you? Well, you wouldn't like to have anything happen to her, would you?
Now, look here, Mr. Darvis. I'm the law in this country, and
There isn't any law where I work. There's only me.
look out, Posey. He's telling the truth. He'll do it. I know he will, Tack. I can't get away from it. I'm the law, and the law's got to act. Darvis, I order you to surrender to...
I thought that was a white carnation he was wearing.
It was.
Knocked off a little early today? Why aren't you at the mine?
I think we clean up all the gold there is.
I don't want you to think. Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Where are the others?
They're out in the kitchen getting something to eat.
All right.
John, tell me, how's Miss Vancy? Are they treating her all right?
Man, he say no talkie. John, no talkie.
That's the idea, John. No talkie, plenty live. Plenty talkie, you die quick.
Me sabi. Goodbye.
I bet if I was loose, I'd...
Send us, will you, Jim? How much?
76 cents.
Okay.
Exactly 10 o'clock. Long distance to Chatterton?
Hey, you mugs, throw a cigarette over here, will you?
And 2 cans of tomatoes.
2 cans of tomatoes?
Papa, can I go down to Margie's today? Just for a little while.
No, honey. You stay here with me.
And a pound of butter.
Please, Papa, just for a little while.
No, honey. You stay here.
She been sick?
No. She's all right.
My little boy was telling me that she hasn't been to school for the last 2 or 3 days.
Well, she hasn't been feeling very well, and,
Say, what's going on in this town anyhow?
nothing that I know of.
Seems like everybody's going crazy. Posing Meade and Strike Jackson, killing one another off as they've done. And last night, Jim Hawkins shooting himself in a telephone booth.
I don't know. Wouldn't you like to have some of these pears? We just got them in today, and,
Not bad for 10 days' work, eh, Stubb?
No, and not good either. If you just settle down to business and quit worrying about that... Uh-oh. Companies are coming.
What's the matter, Tack? You look like you'd seen a ghost.
Brad, you know them fellas that came out to Miss Nancy's ranch? Darvis and the rest of them?
Yeah. I got kind of a recollection.
They're killers, Brad. The kind of killers that you and me never heard tell of.
What are you driving at?
I'm a-telling you. They killed old Strike Jackson.
What?
Right in cold blood, right in front of my eyes. They killed Posey, too.
They killed who?
Posey Meade shot him down without giving him a chance. They got everybody scared to whisper. And they're keeping Sue and Hampsey prisoners.
What are you talking about?
It's the truth, Brad. They had me locked in the cellar, and the Chinaman helped me get away. So I snared me a horse and lit out for you. It all started when old Strike Jackson found gold on Miss Vancy's land. Darvis sent back east for some more men. Some of them are working the mine, the others are in Bunsen. The people in town are too scared to move. I tell you, them fellas is rattlesnakes, Brad. Rattlesnakes!
I've heard enough, Tack. If them fellas is killers, they've come right back home to where killing was invented. Come on, boys, let's get going.
How much, Buck?
Not so good as yesterday. Only 10 grand today. But with what we've already got, it ain't bad.
Not bad for a vacation.
Vacation? If this is what you call a vacation, I'll be glad to get back to work so I can get some rest.
What are they saying? I can't hear.
I don't like this country. There's too darn much of it.
What are you worried about?
Well, back in town, I know all the angles. Who to bump off, who to buy, and who to duck. You know.
All places are the same, Jazzy. Some are big and some are little, that's all. They're all soft. A sucker's a sucker wherever you go.
Get in there, you slant-eyed pouty head.
Well, what's the matter?
Plenty. You know that guy Tack we had stashed away in the cellar?
Gillip, you mean, the foreman?
That's the guy. He's gone.
Gone?
Gone. Gone.
Ouch.
I don't like it, I tell you.
Shut up. You helped him get away?
Sure, me help. He go away, he come back. He planned him, man. When he come back, you die, all will die.
How long do you think it's going to be before you die?
Me die now. Me know it. What difference? Now, tomorrow, next day, me don't care.
Here? Outside.
Come on. Today, tomorrow, what's different? Oh, bye.
What's the matter, kid?
This is not so hot.
What are we going to do?
Vacation is over. There's no telling who that old fool Gillip will bring down on us. There's a time to stay and blast, and there's a time to move out. And it's our move.
Right now?
Sure. Not all the money in the world, but it's worth picking up. There's been a change.
What are we going to do, kid?
Well, there's no use going back to Bunsen. That old Gillip will warn them back there sooner or later. So we'll make for Pine Creek.
Pine Creek? Well, that's on the other side of the mountains. We don't know our way.
Miss Vancy will show us the way.
You mean?
Sure, the women. Take them with us, all the way back to the city. If nothing happens to us, nothing happens to them. It's the old system, Spot. Tell those girls to get into something for a long ride.
Okay.
Spot, you get some horses ready.
Right.
Here's that wood you ordered, Mr. Horton.
Wood? Why, I didn't know.
Mr. Horton! Those men! They've just shot Led Caldwell, the telegraph operator. They shot him down when he tried to sneak a message through. I tell you, I'm gonna...
Oh, no, what? You'll get back to your work and keep your trap shut. You!
If I'm any good at figures, that makes one.
Right where old Red Buzzy fell when he tried to hold up the bank. Going up that road. Okay.
Well, we cleaned out this bunch.
We're not through yet. Take care of those fellas. Keep the ropes on them. If they try to get away, you know what to do. Come on, fellas, let's go. Wait a minute! Who's this coming?
Why, it's Hank Bailey.
One of Miss Sue's cowhands.
Hey, Brad, they're gone.
Who?
Darvis and his gang. And they've taken Miss Sue and Hampty with them.
What?
Yeah, I found this note pinned on the door.
Well?
You townspeople guard the railroad station in case they try to get out through here.
You bet.
We're heading for Pine Creek. That's the place they'll more than likely try to get to.
That's the talk, Brad.
This ain't a talking job, Stub. It's a shooting job. The only thing to do with killers is kill them. Let's go!
Well, I hear tell of Indians kidnapping people like this, but for white men to do it, well, you ain't white men, that's all. You can't tell me. Just a lot of heathen savages painted up to look white. I'm a-telling you now, if Stub Wallach ever gets a hold of any of you, you'll wish you'd never been born. He'll show you. Whitest horse I was ever on in my life.
Hey, Church, how about slipping a slug in that loudspeaker back there? I'm getting sick of that broadcast.
Well, somebody wants it to live, Mink. I don't know why, but somebody does. Anyhow, we may need her to bargain with if we get in a jam. You see what I mean?
No. Hey, Chief, how far did you say it was to this railroad?
You tell him, will you, Spot? I've told him 4 times already.
It's 67 miles. The way I feel, we've come 167 already. I tell you, I don't like these hills with nothing on them but rocks and trees. I keep hearing funny noises.
Ah, shut up. I'm scared bad enough without getting worse listening to your wail.
I'll be glad when we get out of here.
I'll be glad if we get out. Never mind about when.
They're heading right into our camp, Brad. Let's give them a taste of lead.
Can't do that. He's got the women and he'll kill them. We start shooting. That's his game.
You ain't gonna let him get away, are you?
They won't get away, Tack. They're in our country now. We know it and they don't. We'll wipe them out with the mountains, Tack. Fool them first and then smash them with the mountains. And there's things in them that we know about, and they don't.
Sounds like a lot of Choctaw to me. Just a rock.
Oh, what do you mean, just a rock? Looked like the top of a mountain to me.
Oh, shut up and come on.
All right, I will, but it don't sound good to me.
Are them things are coming loose by themselves, or is somebody... something funny up above us there?
Rocks are always falling in the mountains.
They are, huh? Well, that's another good reason why I'm going to stay out of the mountains from now on. Them sure ain't rocks. Look what's coming.
Get off those horses, quick. Get out of the way.
Come on, get in there.
Where are we going, Miss Fancy?
guns, Al. Grab yourself a gun on that saddle there.
Nick! Jazzy! Where are you?
Nothing to be afraid of. It was just a bunch of loose horses got scared and run us down, that's all.
Loose horses? Let me tell you, there was some men on them horses.
You're crazy. Where's those women? And Darvis, where's he gone? That ain't what's worrying me. Where do we stand now? We're in for it.
You know what's the matter with us? We're on the spot. If I ever get home, I'm going to see to it that I don't get 10 feet from a fire plug again as long as I live.
Keep that rat of yours working or you won't live to get home.
You know, Mitch, you ought to be a fortune teller.
I wonder if he knows he died right when the Causey kid got here.
Your business, huh? Well, there's your profit.
Where's Brad? Well, don't stand there like a lot of dummies. Let's scatter out and find them. Here, Bill, take this. You boys work all up this way and I'll go down here.
Oh, Brad!
Did you get them all?
All but Darvis. He got away.
A long way. I sent him.
Oh.
Better have some of our men take these women back to the ranch.
Brad, won't you?
I warned you that he was crooked, and you wouldn't listen to me. No, you never would listen to me. You were always too busy telling me how to be different. That I hadn't ought to do this and that I hadn't ought to do that. Well, from now on,
Brad, I don't want you different. I want you just as you are.
Are you real sure of that?
I am, Brad.
Well, in case you do want me to be different, why, I'll try.
Well, there's only one more thing to be done.
What's that?
Kiss me, you big fish.
Why, hell, it sure will.
Don't nibble.